Are you sometimes hard on yourself when you get so exhausted and fatigued that you lose your cool with your children and your family? This is a very common and understanding experience because being a mother, being a parent is one of the hardest jobs I personally feel. And I have seen many other people state that. But when you're a parent and you're dealing with all these things, it's easy, not great, but it happens that you lose your cool. And today we're going to talk about that. Hi, I'm Renu Mehta Chang. I'm a spiritual teacher and I help overworked, exhausted women, mothers that are spiritually awakened, really come back to know who they truly are and not allow the 3D world really affect them and help them to really be truly in this place and living in this life with joy and happiness and freedom. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell so you know when new content comes up. This is a very common topic that I have with a lot of clients. It doesn't matter how old their kids are. As a spiritually awakened woman, we are raising our vibrations and we're realizing that what we think and how we feel in our lives affects our reality. So what does that mean? That means that the way that we're feeling is being shown to us in our reality with our children. I remember being a mother of two younger kids. Now, my kids aren't that much older, but when they were a lot younger, I was so frustrated. I was overworked. I was exhausted all the time. I was getting sick on a regular basis. I didn't have coping mechanisms of how to protect myself and how to deal with all the things that were happening in my life. The laundry, the taking care of the kids, the shuffling them around place to place, the upkeep of the home, working. It was a lot for me. And I would lose my cool with my kids. And I look back and I realize that was just because I had no way to cope and I had no way to handle, and I just let myself get angry. Everybody has the emotion that comes out for you initially, and mine is frustration and anger. So now that I know that and I'm aware of what emotions come out for me, I can be aware of it and I can kind of catch myself beforehand. But yeah, being a parent, sometimes when you've picked up the socks off the floor for the 50th time in one day, you're like, right? Come on, guys, get the memo. This isn't the first rodeo. You know what to do. But being a parent is like sometimes Groundhog's Day, where we have the repeat and we're teaching our kids over and over and over again, and it can get frustrating. You have to be okay with the fact that sometimes our buttons get pushed and we lose our cool. And yes, it's not ideal, and we can go back and we apologize to our kids and express that we are sorry we lost our tempers because that's not how we want to do it. But the truth is that it led up to that point. We lost our cool because we were being tested. And the way to stop that is to be aware. Now, I have a free spiritual awakening kit. It's in the description box. These tools are what has helped me to really come back into myself and really see where I'm giving my energy away, to who, and how to protect my energy, but also to keep it to myself and to be aware of to not seep out all my energy to other people in my world, to take care of me first. When that mask comes down on the airplane, I put that bad boy on me first because I need to be able to take care of myself so I can take care of everyone else in my team, right? In my family. So it's very important that you maintain your energy and you realize where you're giving it and where you're leaking it, because a lot of us leak our energy from our bodies and don't even realize it. Another thing is to know that sometimes being a parent, it does mean that we are going to have to discipline our children and we are going to lose our cool. And that's just a part of it. Do we want that to be all the time? Absolutely not. But sometimes you do have to raise your voice and you do have to have those moments to have grace with yourself when you do lose it. And if you were out of line and you kind of just escalated it to a point where you lost your cool, you can go back and apologize, like I said before. But if it was needed in that moment, then it was needed, because sometimes children need to have those messages, and sometimes they're so distracted they're not paying attention to us, especially this day and age. So many people are preoccupied with this that these kids don't have the attention span, and sometimes we have to jar them a little bit with a raised voice to get their attention. So hopefully we don't have to do that too often, but sometimes it needs to happen. I can remember when my son was really little, and I made a short about it, so check it out. But we were leaving school. He was a lot younger and he wanted to play with all his friends in the playground. And I had to rush and dash to get my daughter from her school, and it was a distance away. And the time crunch was really, really tight. And I remember feeling so anxious and stressed. Looking back, I realized that I have been making, or have made, situations more stress inducing than really. If we pick up our kids a little bit later than normal, it's okay. If we realize that we have a lot on our plates and we have to say no to things, it's okay. If we find that we're overwhelmed, it's okay. Being overwhelmed as a parent, the first thing you have to do is acknowledge it, because then you give yourself some grace and you can take a deep breath, because we're not perfect. I definitely know that I'm not a perfect parent, and woo, I have learned my lesson. But I'm also not taking things so seriously anymore. I used to make things such a big deal, and now I realized it does not need to be a big deal. When you're in the 3D realm on this earth as a spiritually awakened woman or person, everything looks differently. When we don't work on the stuff that's keeping us stressed and anxious and worried and in irritation, we'll see it in our reality. It'll play out in your daily existence with your children, with your partner, with your job, with your family members, with your friends. It'll play out. But if we work on addressing those issues that are causing us to have anxiety, that are causing us to have stress, which, by the way, are either self-limiting beliefs or programs that could be from this lifetime, from alternate lifetimes. When we address what's keeping us stuck in this anxiety and stress and worry and fear and lower vibration emotions, we can then shift and change and transform ourselves and see it played out differently in your reality. And I'm going to share a story. Just last week, I was having one of those weeks that was hard. I am absolutely acknowledging the fact that I'm a spiritually awakened spiritual teacher, and I was dealing with the 3D because the energies were so intense. And in my reality, I was seeing all over the place, people around me were struggling. People were struggling that they were telling me, and that was just coming back, that was showing me what I'm feeling in my own self was being played out in my reality. And I realized if I don't address this stress that I'm feeling, this worry, this anxiety, this fear, I'm going to still live it, and it's going to still be showing up in my daily life. So I was really conscious of it, and I took some time to nap. I took some time to be easy on myself, to give myself some grace. I went to bed early. I said no to things. I did not over schedule myself. And I even asked for support and called in support, not just from the angelic realm, but from people in the 3D realm in this world. I had people help me because I'm not Wonder Woman. And I know that sometimes when we need help, honoring it and having the awareness of it and just acknowledging it is key. And there's no shame in that game. I say that phrase all the time, but it's so true. There is no shame in knowing that you can only do what you can do and you need a break. And I took a break. And I even said to my family, I declared to my husband and my children, guys, mommy's sleeping in on Saturday morning. Please don't wake me up. And I felt better because I got that rest. So, all of this is so important when you are nurturing your little ones. And even if they're not so little, if they're in their middle school or high school years or college years, it is just how sometimes we take things so seriously that we affect our own frequency and then we see it in the universe. So just take a deep breath. Just take it down a notch. It does not have to be so serious. Life is this beautiful experience, and sometimes some of us take it so seriously, and we don't have to because there's so much joy that we're missing out, so much laughter, so much levity. And when we can take away the stress and the anxiety and the worry and the fear and all those other lower vibrations, we will see how beautiful and how fun this universe can be. If you need any support on your path, drop me a comment. I am here to support you because I'm living it with you. And I have a link in the description if you want to do a discovery call to see if you want to work together, because I do this work with so many people to help them be the best versions of themselves, but to also really get back to having and enjoying life, because that's what we're here for, even during times of high energy. And I'm sending you all so much love, so much peace, so much happiness, and so much joy. Bye for now.